Welcome back, guys. This is Ohit, and this tutorial I'm going to teach you guys about CSS. So you know that we have got our two sections, deep sections, and these are currently like mere structures of some lines, bunches of lines, which doesn't seem that good, and we want this to be colorful and more beautiful, interesting, amazing, and very nice. So to do this, we need to use our CSS code, and we will go back to the editor and into our HTML file. Keep in your mind that the CSS code will always be into and or inside the head section. So the CSS code starts with style, style, keep enter, and inside this style start and tag you will put your CSS code. Okay, that's all. But you might actually want to ask, if I write CSS code, how it will be connected with this, elements here into the HTML? That's a matter of concern. That is what we are going to work with in this video. So okay, I will keep it for this right now. And right now we are going to talk about something else which will be later related with CSS as well. So first of all, we need to know that every HTML tag can have their attributes. So attributes are some kind of criteria or some kind of value that an object can have. For example, a human can have color, a human can have religion, a human can have race, and a lot of things a human can have. These are the attributes of human. So like this, and HTML can have their own attributes, such as like class, ID, value, maybe some of the things that will be there, which you will learn later on. But keep in your mind that deep or any other HTML tag can have their own attributes. So yeah, one of the attributes is class. So to write down the attribute, you just type class equals, and you put double quote, and inside the quote you actually write down the value of the attribute. So I will write down, since it is our div, which is this and this, so this is our section 1, right? So you will say section hyphen or dash 1. Okay, so this is our section 1, right? And we want to also give the attribute here, but we will do it later on. Okay, so what we're going to do with this CSS here, we want a box with this whole section. To do this, we'll go back, and inside this style we will write dot, and we will write section dash 1, and we will put curly bracket and click enter. So over here, this is the class we are referring here from here, and the class are referred by dot inside the style. Okay, so inside this curly bracket you will put the attributes of this class. You will understand it later on when I will show you into the browser. So what we are going to do is we are going to give border around these elements, right? So we will say border, which is the attribute of section 1 class, and we will put colon, and border we will say it should be solid, and we will give a space, and we want to actually say the thickness of the border. So we want it to be 2 pixel, 2px, and after that we want the color of the border, so it can be red, black, white, green. So we want it to be red, and we would put semicolon, which means that end of this line, end of this statement. But you don't worry about this, just follow this. So over here For section 1 class, we are having a border, and this section 1 is attached with this whole section, right? So it means that this whole section will have the border. Let's not talk about this. Let's see it into the browser. I will save it. I'll go back, and if I refresh now, you can see that there is the border, right? Isn't that cool? Okay, you can see something here that these lines are being attached with the border line. We want this to be not happening, right? So we will go back to our editor, and we will see that this class will always have some kind of padding. So the padding means into CSS means that some inside space from every side. It can be from the left, right, top, bottom. So if I say padding, and I want to say what's gonna be the padding size, I will say 20 pixel px. So 2 pixel, 20 pixel, these are actually measurement units. I hope that you already know about what is unit, right? So I will save it. And so since I'm going to explain now, since this class is attached with this, so this padding should be with this whole section, right? So if we go back and refresh now, you can see that there are some kind of inside space, and this is what padding means actually in CSS. I will go back. Right now, you can see that this section has this border, you know, and the space, but this one doesn't have. We want this also having the same thing. So we will say class, and we will say section 2. We will save it, and we will copy this, and we will click enter. So both section 1 and section 2 class are different, right? So I will change it to section 2, and the border, we want it to be green for the section 2, green. And the padding, it can stay the same so we will save it. If we go back now and refresh now, you can see that there are another border. Although they are attached with each other, we can actually separate them by using br tag. So let's do it. We will go back, and between those two deep section, I will put the br tag, br, enter, save it, go back, and you can see that both of those sections are currently separated. So right now we want to do some more things, such as like we want to change the color of the header, or we can change the color of the paragraph. Let's change the color of the header into green. That should be fine. So let's go back. Right now we want this header 1 tag having an attribute which is called ID, and we will say this one is header 1. Save it. Now we will go to the style where we are putting our CSS, and to refer our ID from HTML to CSS code, we will always start by putting the hash, and we will write down header 1, and we will give our curly brackets, and inside there we will say color colon red. Oh, we were talking about the green, right? So it should be green. So you can see that this one is referring here, and this text should be currently green. If I go back and refresh now, you can see that this has turned into green. Isn't that awesome? You can actually change the color. Try it by yourself. It will be better for you. Okay, we can actually change this color as well. Let's go, and we will copy, and we will say header 2, and we will name it red. We want this to be red, green, red, red, green. And over here we will copy the section, and we want this to be with header 3, right? So we will say, since this is header, let's make it header 3 so that there shouldn't be any confusion. So if you say header 3 now, this is referring here, and the color becomes red. If you save it, if you go back, and if we refresh now, you can see that it becomes red. You can actually change the color of this as well. using class or ID, it is totally up to you. So this is how actually CSS works. I hope that you find this video useful. If you like it, subscribe. See you into the next video where I'm going to teach you about JavaScript. Bye bye.